What up? Okay, everybody, welcome back. Just as a reminder, please announce yourself when you ask your questions, and with that, I will open it up to Coach.
Okay, good to see everybody on board here. Glad you're with us. Preparing for a very important matchup with the Eagles up in Philly. That's occupying our time right now. A couple notes. Want to congratulate Sam Koch. He's going to set the all-time games played record for the Ravens. So that'll be a great accomplishment for Sam. And also Patrick Queen got the Defensive Player of the Week award, so we're very proud of that as an individual award, but also as a team award. So the guys will all be really proud of that. Okay, what questions do you have?
Hey, John, this is Jameson. You mentioned about Sam Koch. A lot of people, when they talk about punters, they don't, they kind of get pushed off to the side a little bit. What is Sam represented for this franchise?
Well, gosh, continuity. I think he's a guy that, persistence and how to do it the right way. I haven't really given it thought, but I think he epitomizes what success looks like over the long haul. A guy that's dedicated to the process, taking care of the details, working extremely hard, incredibly competitive about what he does. The other thing that people may or may not know, he's kind of changed. Sam's going to be remembered, in his craft for changing the way punters punt. He's the guy that's come up with all these different types of punts and these different kicks. I mean, he's got I don't know how many he's got, but it's many of them. And really it's with the directional punting, the way he sprays the ball around, puts it on the sideline, the different rotations he uses. These are all things that punters are copying now, and you see really all around the league right now. So he'll be remembered for that for a long time.
Hey, Coach, Pat Carpenter, SI. When you look at this Eagles team, they've thrown the ball 196 times and rushed 123. I guess they seem to do a lot of intermediate stuff. What kind of challenge is it for you guys as far as pass coverage goes against these guys, especially when they use their tight ends?
Well, of course, yeah. Zach Ertz, as you mentioned, looks like they might be getting some of the receivers healthy, which would be something, be a big benefit to them. Big pass protecting offensive line, of course, Carson Wentz. Plus they use their running backs quite a bit in the pass game, and they're very adept at it. So. It's a West Coast style offense, similar to what you see in Kansas City. Of course, Coach Pederson and Coach Reed, worked together for a long time. So we understand kind of how that system works a little bit and how challenging it can be to defend it.
John, Mike Preston, Baltimore Sun. Last year, you guys were successful with the combination blocks. How has that gone for you this year? Has that been a problem area for you guys at all?
Well, I think we can get better at that for sure. It's something that we did at probably the highest level last year, especially with Marshall in there. It's something we're working on. I think kind of goes with a lot of other things, Mike, we can continue to improve at, and we have to. And I'd say that's one of the things we're working on, yeah.
John, Dave Ginsburg, how impressed are you with this defense, not just with the takeaways, but defensive backs getting sacks, going the other way? It just seems like everyone's contributing and everyone has a different role on every given play, perhaps.
Right. Well, it's what you've seen from the defense, in terms of that last part of it. It's a great point you made. That's kind of how we're built. We've been that way, at least the last 3 years, predominantly. So we want to play that way whenever we can. It's been good to see the production, especially the last 2 weeks. We're doing a good job, throughout the year, but. We know we have a long way to go. We have a lot to work on. We're going to be attacked a lot of different ways. We know we're going to be challenged this week with scheme and ideas. So you just got to be ready for all that stuff and just try to put our best foot forward every single week, and that's what we're trying to do.
Hey, John. Kirk McEwen from 98 Rob. For 5 weeks, the Ravens are the only team in the league to have scored in every quarter this season. Is that something you're aware of? And if so, is it something you take pride in?
I did not know that. Sure, would that be something that's a positive? But I didn't know it. That's good. Thanks.
Hey, John, this is Jameson again. Obviously, there's always interest in Lamar and running. His rushing attempts have decreased this year. Is that something going into the season that you, as a team, saying you you wanted to reduce that, or has there been other factors involved in that?
I'd say other factors. It's not something that we said we wanted to do, but we also, I think we understood and knew that things are always going to change and evolve, and that's the nature of football. It's the nature of things, right? So 1 week to the next, 1 year to the next, how we're defended, what we chase in terms of, we're just trying to move the ball and score points really by any means necessary. There's really no rules in terms of what direction we go with those kind of things. We just want to find ways to get it done, and we're searching for those things on offense right now. We always will, and that's where we're at.
Hey, John, this is Jonah Shape with Baltimore Sun. Jesse Bates, the Cincinnati safety, raised some eyebrows when he said, we know that Lamar wants to go at 89-15. Just from a bigger perspective, you look at Seattle, they've had a really good passing game, focusing mainly on two guys. Does target share matter to you in the big picture as long as you guys are passing out there?
Well, I think I lost you at the end there, Jonas, but I think you said, does it matter big picture as long as we're having success in moving the ball? Right. No, I mean, not as long as we're having success in moving the ball, and I think it will matter in the long run. I think people will defend the guys you're throwing to. We certainly do that on defense, but it's not. We're not trying to throw to two guys all the time. We're not really trying to throw to seven guys either. But we've had games where we have spread it out quite a bit this year, where he's hit multiple targeted guys. So I think it will play out differently from week to week, but I also think it's something we need to continue to look at.
Hey, John, Bo, Smolka with Press Box. It's been a while. We don't play the Eagles very often, but obviously you came up with that organization. Any feelings about that now, or it's just so far removed? It's nothing special. It's just another game for you this week.
It's a lot of great people there, Bo. People that are still friends to this day, of course. Both in the organization throughout, and then also in the community. We've got friends in the community still that we keep in touch with. So, yeah, all that's from a personal standpoint good, but from a football standpoint, no. It's a big game because it's a big game. It's the next game, and we're in a race right now. So. We need this win. We need to play our best football. We need to improve, and really that's all any of us are thinking about.
Jimena Lugo La Torre from Ravens Spanish Radio. Coach, I want to give a follow-up to that question. You and Doug Pederson both became head coaches after working for Andy Reid, and both of you have won a Super Bowl as a head coaches. So how it is to compete against Doug Pederson?
Right. Well, we both were with Coach Reid, so I think we both kind of have a lot of the same views on things. Maybe same experiences. Doug was a player. He played quarterback in the NFL for many years. He was there Andy's first year, which was my second year in the NFL coaching, and he was the backup quarterback, and he was my holder. So we kind of got that experience a little bit. But I have a lot of respect for Doug. The way he runs his program, the way he coaches his team, they do a great job with their guys, and we understand that.
We'll do two more for Coach.
Hey, John, it's Mark Viviano here. You had a nice shout out to your fans on Monday about how much you miss them. Billy's going to have some fans on Sunday. This will be the first time you play with any substantive amount of people in the seats. Any thoughts about if that changes anything or any feeling or thoughts?
We're probably going to underplay it more than overplay it because we really don't know, Mark. It's, we played in front of a lot more fans than 7,500, so we should be fine, but we haven't done it lately. To your point, it'll be different from the last couple of weeks, so I just don't know what impact it'll have, how loud it'll be. So I think we'll just go in there and play the game and see how it plays out.
Hey, John, this is Aaron at Penn Lab. We just talked to Jimmy Smith, and I'm curious, obviously you have a lot of players who move to different roles, but what he does specifically, all the different things he plays, how difficult is that? Is that something you would be able to task a younger player with, or does his experience really make a difference?
Yeah, I do think it's that. His experience makes a big difference. He's just seen a lot of things. He's been in a lot of meetings. He's played in a lot of games. He knows, he basically fundamentally knows how the coverages are built and they're organized. Now what he's had to do in the last really year and a half is really dig into the details of the different spots. He's done a really good job of it. I'm really proud of him. It's not many corners. There are some, you know, we know there's some good examples of guys that have done it. Even here, you know, all the way back to Rod Woodson and then, of course, Brandon Carr. But I don't think it's really that normal for guys to make that kind of a, I don't want to say a move or a switch because he's still playing corner, but to expand like that. So, yeah, really proud of him for how he's done with that.
All right, thanks, Coach. To the media corps, we'll send you to a waiting room, and we'll come back with Lamar.
All right, thanks, everybody.